everyone, this is Hannah from Wonderful Woodlands, and today we're going to learn a long tail cast on. So there's a couple different ways to do a long tail cast on. I'm going to teach you the method that I think is the easiest. You can start with a slip knot like we did in our knit cast on method, but you don't have to. Kind of the lazy way to do it, and the way that I like doing it is just straight to wrap your yarn over the needle here, and then you can catch it with your thumb to hold in place while you start doing your cast on. If you're casting on a lot of stitches, you're going to want to have your tail that's attached to your ball of yarn coming off the back side of the needle. But if you're only casting on 3 or 4, it doesn't matter. But you'll run out of yarn a lot faster with this short yarn that's coming up in the front. So the rule of thumb is to make your short tail 4 times longer than how big your work is going to be. So if you're making a hat that's going to be 12 inches, you would do 4 times 12 inches. We are only going to cast on about 10 stitches today, so this should be pretty good for us. So we're going to have our longer tail coming off the back end here and our shorter tail coming off the front, and I'm just going to pinch that yarn to hold it right over my needle here. And then from here, I'm going to catch, the short end is going to catch my thumb and the longer tail is going to catch my pointer finger. So I'm going to hold my yarn here. I like to pinch it with my pinky and my ring finger, but you want to have these loops coming over the top of your pointer finger and your thumb, right like this, and then catch them. And then, whoop, here's where it gets a little tricky, but we'll do this a bunch of times. So you're going to go under, over, under, and then you're gonna wiggle these 2 together to tighten this up. We're gonna do this a whole bunch more times. So with our yarn here, we're gonna go under the first one, over the second one, and under the third one. And then you don't want to get these super, super tight. For some projects, if you're looking for a really stretchy edge, you're actually going to cast onto 2 needles instead of just 1. But if it doesn't matter how much elastic you have in your edge. So for example, for a hat, we're going to do this again in a minute and we're going to cast onto 2 needles. But for something like a flower or something decorative that doesn't need a lot of stretch to it, it's okay to just cast onto a single needle. So let's do it again. You have your short end over your thumb and your long end over your pointer finger. We're going to go under, over, under. Let's do it again. Under the first one, over the second one, under the third one. And I didn't say, but we're going under from the front side here, then we're going over, and then we're going under from the back side of this yarn back here. And if you absolutely hate this cast on method and you cannot figure it out and you don't enjoy doing it, go back and use our knit cast on method. We use that in all of our beginner patterns, and I know some people don't like it as much. They don't feel like it creates quite as clean of an edge. It is a perfectly acceptable cast on method. So if this one you're finding to be challenging, keep using a knit cast on method, at least for all of our patterns, and you will do just fine. Okay, let's get a couple more here. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do 2 more. So we're gonna go under, over, under, and tighten it. And last one, under, over, under, and tighten it here. And we have just cast on 10 stitches. That is your long tail cast on method. Now I'm gonna pull all of these off. We're gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna show you with 2 needles instead of 1. So this is where if you want a stretchier cast on, we'll cast onto 2 needles. Your stitches are going to feel a little bit loose on your first maybe row or 2 of your work, and then after that they're going to even out. Your tension's going to be perfect, and you'll have a really nice stretchy edge for something like a hat or a sleeve if you're doing a sweater. We do hats, but there's a few places where you'd want some stretch. So same concept here. My short tail is over my thumb and my long tail is over my pointer finger. We're going to go under with both needles, over, and then under, and catch it. We'll do this again. We're gonna go under, over, under, under, over, under, under, over, under. Last one, under, over, under. And then once we're ready to start knitting, we would slide our needle out here. This gives us, like I said, a little bit of a looser stitch, but once we knit 2 or 3 rows off of this, the tension is going to even out across your project and you're going to end up with a really nice stretchy edge. So that is your long tail cast on method.